What up, y'all? Welcome to another Hip Hop Now podcast bonus episode. Yes, brought to you by the producers over at patreon.com/hip hop. Now, if you would like to learn how to become a producer, the link is in the description of this episode. All right, man, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. It would only be right for me to talk about it. If you don't frequent the internet, if you don't follow hip hop as much as you used to, long story short, Capitol Records signed a rapper who was essentially a robot. Skynet, y'all. A artificial intelligence-based rapper created in a virtual space received a record deal from Capitol Records. Then, said rapper was dropped. Seems about right? Mainly because the whole situation was immoral, right? As far as the AI rapper. But what made me decide to start doing an episode about this is the fact that not only was this a AI rapper created and given a actual record deal with a major label, but it was an AI that was created by some lame dude who shall remain nameless on this podcast. But using the voice of a dude named Kyle the Hooligan, who is a real world rapper. And a black dude, by the way. And he came out to say that he was supposed to be a part of this revolutionary thing. He was supposed to get cut, and he was cut out of the process when the rapper was signed. Basically, they used his voice. They used him to create this artificial rapper that eventually, at least they thought, was going to become this big thing and be the future. Now, this thing has a lot of layers, right? If you have listened to Hip Hop Now podcast, I've said over the years, in numerous situations, honestly, since I've been creating content for the radio for hip hop, even writing, I've said these kinds of things, right? I used to say these kinds of things to friends and potential MCs who wanted a record deal since I was in high school. I was always attracted to the music industry's business side because the day I found out when I was younger that a legend like Marvin Gaye died and was essentially broke living with his parents, I couldn't understand why. It's Marvin Gaye. I just couldn't understand. All the hits, all the accolades, everything. Why is he broke? Why is he living with his parents, right? Now, there's a number of layers to that, but we're not going to get into that. The point is I always looked at the music industry and said to myself, yo, potential recording artists really have to make a decision, not only when they sign contracts, but when they're in the midst of trying to get some form of deal. And I say that only because there's a lot of games. Not everybody gets to the point of even having a record deal before they get jerked. This dude wanted to be a part of something that he saw as potentially big for himself as far as an investment, right? It does sound like a dope idea considering the Metaverse and all this other stuff, right? NFTs and everything that people are invested in a virtual space. Well, why not just create a rapper? I don't know how he's going to perform, but who knows? It's a new world. But nevertheless, they found a way to cut this dude out of it, even though in a lot of ways, sure, he didn't it didn't use his likeness per se, but his voice is probably a part of that likeness. And to use him as a model to get away with saying the things you want to say as a rapper, even though you're a white dude who created this AI and cut this man out, this black man out of this situation, the entire thing is just terrible. Like, you're getting jerked on all levels, right? You either trying to be a real rapper in the real world, or you trying to be an AI rapper, you getting jerked. This is how this business is run. This is why you have to make a decision as a potential rapper on what you're willing to deal with, right? A wise man once told me, every organization has this certain level of ish, right? And I thought that was dope because that's true, right? You can look at it in the sense of jobs, right? Yo, I'm leaving that job, go to this job, it's better. Well, what's better there may be some things there that you don't like. And then you leave that job and go to another job, and it's better than your previous job, but they also have some things you might not like, or some people you might not like, and on and on and on. But one thing when that was said to me, I felt like you have to decide on what level of ish you're willing to deal with. And that's what it is when it's the record industry in any fashion, whether it's AI or whatever. If you know there is an opportunity to make a lot of money as a rapper, and whether that's you getting signed, whether that's an AI using your voice or whatever, you gotta decide on, do I want to get jerked or do I want to play this smart? Some people, because of their current predicament, whether they're working somewhere they don't want to work, or they're poor or whatever, they think about that stuff later. But sometimes later it's too late, right? And I'm not saying this brother made a mistake that he should pay for, but in a lot of regards, we continuously make these mistakes, and we're easily cut out of what we create because we don't come to the door like that, right? And not saying that if you know your business, someone is going to want to do business with you, because guess what? Sometimes they have their own desperate situations in this music industry where, okay, well, we can't get this dude to be our dummy, so we'll go find another. Now, let's talk about the whole notion of an AI rapper. Again, considering where things are going in this world, as far as NFTs, people spending money to own NFTs and digital artwork, stuff like that, to have places like Facebook creating the Metaverse or this meta space or whatever it may be with avatars, things that have been tried before in a lot of ways exist now, but through, a profile pic and whatever words or content you create. But when you create AI rappers, so to speak, right, generating music in a place called a Metaverse where everybody has their own virtual avatars, they're going to go to that rap show and they're going to pay. They're going to pay real world money to get into this virtual space to hear this fake rapper perform. Why? Because it's different. Not because it's great, but because it's different. And we're living in a world where technology is so advanced and it's advancing day by day with new tech, and society is moving along with it. So you can see why people would do it. Would everyone do it? Would I do it? Hell no. But what I will say is, I could see why it would be an idea. In a lot of ways, I could see how it would be a great idea from a business perspective. And that's what this dude, Kyle the Hooligan, was doing. He probably like tried to go the traditional route. He probably, make a little bit of money here and there rapping, but something like this, he's probably thinking, I could potentially be good money-wise. But he was exploited. So, one, know your business up front if you can. Two, AI rappers could be the future if we really want to keep it funky. Could be the future. Imagine being someone who used to rap, right? Like full time. Yo, I used to be a rapper. I used to write all these songs. I used to try to get the record deal back in the day, blah, blah, blah. But didn't work out. Now I just work wherever I work. You telling me somebody wouldn't willingly sign up to be the voice, let alone the ghostwriter in some respects of an AI rapper if it meant a check, a way to get your music out, a way to sort of be a celebrity in some ways? I mean, ghostwriting kind of goes out the window, does it? Or is it ghost in the machine? I don't know. But when you think about it, it's just all crazy. Now, lastly, why would a record label sign an AI rapper? Well, kids, I'll tell you. Because they've been trying to control hip-hop since its inception. They've been trying to control the narrative of what's hip-hop, right? Who's hip-hop? And they've met a lot of resistance because hip-hop has always been rebellious, right? We're so passionate about this music on all levels that you can't. But in a lot of ways, they found other ways to control it. Think about it this way. You can say that the new wave of hip-hop is a byproduct of the kids and what they like. Or you can say they were made popular, right? Because it wasn't that other thing, right? It wasn't the conscious rappers. It wasn't the rappers who wouldn't settle, right? Someone like Jay-Z, it's not ideal for the type of thinking they want most rappers to think like, right? They want most rappers to think about how much money they get and how many ways can they spend it. That's it. Rinse and repeat. The beats are recyclable. I know I messed that up, but so what? And so are the artists. They come and go. You have to be so much bigger than the machine in order to last long, but you really don't. You really don't remain that popular. And it just happens. An AI rapper is complete control, right? Because you can have a drill rapper or what they used to call a ringtone rapper or whatever, right? And they could be making money, making the music that you think should be out there because it has the best return on your investment. But you can't really do anything when that person wants to be more of an artist because the hip-hop heads are criticizing them. You don't want them to be that. You want them to be what you want them to be. Well, an AI rapper, it could be whatever you want them to be, or ever, right? The style of music changes in a way, right? But it's still profitable. You can switch them up. Is anybody going to complain and say, nah, I like that AI rapper when he was underground? He's not real. There's no progression as an artist. It's programming. That's essentially what this all is. programming, right? People are predictable, and so are you, hip hop fans. People will go where they think everyone else is going, where everything is popular. Not everyone can resist. The AI rapper thing, before we knew this brother was getting jerked, before we knew who was behind it, was always a bad idea. It was always a way to replace. Because what happens? You have him, he gets popular, he's making money for whomever. Then all of a sudden, there's a female version. And then this label has one, and that label has one. And then other people get into it, right? And then I could see Snoop creating one, and on and on and on and on. Not because it's necessarily where the genre should go, just because it's about making money. And a lot of that lies in the hands of how we react to this stuff. I'm telling you, if this thing come out, this AI rapper was going to be big. Forget about the days of calling certain rappers crossovers and sellouts. Vanilla Ice is welcome compared to an AI rapper. At least he's trying to rap. He may be biting off of everything in the world, but he's human, right? And he did have that moment where he tried to come out and say, oh, here's my real music. Nobody cares. But at the end of the day, man, an AI rapper can be programmed. No emotions. Do what I need you to do when I need you to do it. You can sit there and program about 10 albums and plan a whole career out in advance with an AI rapper. You can tweak it to see what works with certain people. It's crazy when you think about it. And I don't think this is the end. That's going to do it for me. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Vegas World INC. Also, please know that this podcast is available wherever you get podcasts. All you have to do is search for Hip Hop Now Podcast, hit that subscribe button in your favorite podcasting app, and stay locked in to hip hop content. Until next time, y'all, I am not a critic. I'm an AI. I'm a fan. I don't know what I am anymore. Peace.